Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Coffee and Kvetch with Zamar and with my mom.
Hi.
She's my guest today. We're visiting her, as you might know from previous Coffee and Kvetch episodes. And my mom is awesome. And can we say how old you are, how young you are?
I think that would be all right.
I think so, because she looks so great.
I'm a happy 88.
She's 88 years old. I mean, look at this woman. And she's in and out, up and down. She climbs several flights of stairs a day in her home and very active.
Good.
And she eats very well.
And sleeps very well.
And she sleeps very well, by the way. So today's episode is What's Up With That? Incline Bed Therapy, or IBT.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this young lady turned me on to this. So I'll give a little intro, Mom, then you can just take it from there. So Mom was dealing with some things that she wanted to take care of naturally, as she has had great success with in the past. And started, texting me and calling me and discussing this thing called IBT, which is
Inclined Bed Therapy.
So I thought, Mom, what is this? What's up with that? IBT, what's up with that? So started doing research, and as you know, healthcare background, and I thought, well, everything Mom's come up with so far has been pretty right on. So Judah and I did research into this and thought, this kind of sounds really interesting and something we might want to try. So, Mom, when you first ran across this, was it on YouTube or on the internet?
Well, to lead into that, it was a personal experience. A good friend of mine suggested that I sleep on several pillows to get some better rest at night. Really be propped up, even to a 35-degree angle, which seems a lot. And as I have shared with you, pillows tend to slip around a little bit.
As we all know.
So you lose your the height.
Yes.
So I did go out online to see what people were doing to have a more upright position in bed.
Okay.
So I saw pillows, and I saw wedges, and then I ran across this article, and it was on the inclined bed therapy. The success people are having trying this in their own home. Doesn't cost you very much, but you do have to raise the head of your bed.
Now, when you say the head of your bed, do you raise the mattress like in a hospital bed, how they raise the top of the bed?
Good point.
Or on some beds that they advertise on television, where you can just raise the head up a little if you're snoring or put it down, that type of bend? That's a good question, yeah. It's a question that is the first one people ask.
Sure. No, you put risers under the headboard of your bed.
Okay, yes.
And you can use anything that you might have on hand. Books, pieces of lumber, just anything that you might have. Then you don't have to put any money into it.
So under the feet at the top of your bed, whether those feet are attached to a headboard or
just a frame.
Just a frame,
Sure.
Okay. So either one you can adapt it to.
And by lifting that headboard a mere 6 inches brings you up to a 5-degree angle.
Okay. So, and for those who don't want to do the math, there's a lot of other math involved, but you don't even need to be involved with that. They have just found out through experiments. The name of the gentleman that originated this study is?
His name is Andrew K. Fletcher, and he's a Briton, an Englishman, and by trade he's an engineer.
So a very interesting story about how he
came upon this with all his education and background, and it sounded so simple. You think, how could something that simple do so much for you? So many have answered him. He, in his studies, he came up with this, I think, about 1994.
Okay.
And he's been sharing that with people. People get in touch with him.
I see.
But all the feedback on the benefits that people are having by just simply raising the head of the bed.
And it's a tremendous amount, as Judah and I have gone out online and researched this for ourselves. I would have done it just with my mom's recommendation, because she's extremely smart, extremely savvy, has a lot of healthcare knowledge, and I would have done it just on that alone, on her recommendation. But I have listened to a lot of the feedback, seen a lot of the research, and it is amazing. And before you talk about some of the stated feedback from clients that are doing this, I just wanted to add in that this Mr. Fletcher was doing studies on the flow of sap and fluid in trees.
Mm-hmm.
And how could this really tall tree in the forest bring the sap and the other and moisture and things all the way up, and then they also come down.
The return.
And how do you get that much return? Thinking about gravity and things like that. And if you have a healthcare background, it seems counterintuitive, because you're thinking, well, if your feet are lower than your head, isn't that going to increase edema? Isn't that going to cause other issues if you have varicose veins or other problems? But really, when you study the reason behind it and how it actually enhances the upflow, yes, by putting your body on this slight tilt. So some of the benefits, Mom, I'd like you to discuss those, but just a disclaimer that we're not stating that we have proven any of these benefits. We are just telling you what other people are reporting over all these years of use. And we have been, Mom, you've been sleeping incline now about how long?
Not quite 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And Judah and I have been sleeping inclined coming up on a week. So it's nothing that happens overnight. But Mom, maybe mention some of the things that you've heard of that it can potentially be helpful with, keeping in mind these are possible benefits. We're not making any claims. You need to do your own research. You need to make decisions for yourself. Mom and I are just sharing what other people have reported has worked for them.
Well, the first thing I noticed, even with the pillows, before I inclined the headboard, I have such sound sleep. I was always a good sleeper, but this is a very sound sleep.
And how many of us need a good night's sleep?
And I've noticed that the trips during the night are fewer and fewer. Some nights,
Give me that relief,
some nights
please.
I'm not. When I go to bed, I stay asleep soundly until dawn or early light the next morning.
That's fantastic.
So, yes. And also, with so many heart problems all over, I was very interested in that for the heart. It helps.
Absolutely.
It helps, and you well know
yes,
how the heart pumps. We all kind of do, but not very much.
Yes.
But it is a real aid to that. And I have found that so interesting because I have felt the difference. Oh, and along that line, I've been having some leg aches the past few years.
I know you mentioned that.
You know, not joint, muscle.
Oh, and that can be miserable.
And I have noticed maybe after just a few nights, those leg aches have disappeared.
That's incredible. That's incredible for Mom. And Mom is a very active person. She eats very well. She does not have electrolyte issues or other things that can cause some muscle aching. So this has really been a boon for you in just the short time that
such a personal experience. Yes. Do you want me to tell you what I did to raise the bed?
Yes, this is an interesting story because everybody kind of has to figure this out.
They suggested any way to raise the head of your bed, so you didn't have to go out and buy something. Well, I was shopping and I found these head risers, so I did buy them. But I have a king-size bed, and so for the center part of that bed, it needed to be up high too. So I stopped at one of our...
Don't inhale your coffee. Or I'll just cough. You talk. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, okay, I will. I went to one of our local places that sells some lumber, and I went back and talked to the gentleman and asked him if it would be possible that I could get some smaller size, good size blocks of wood that would bring that center of the bed up. And so
absolutely,
I had friends stop in and say, well, let's just do this for you. So we put the outside risers on the outside of the bed, and then the centerpiece is in. We even got out the level and brought it all to that even 6-inch
Oh, wow.
rise.
Wow, you
Because
really.
the 6 inches gives you that 5%
Yes.
incline
Yes.
that your body enjoys.
6 inches is a sweet spot as you
Uh-huh.
do your research.
And some people will even raise it up to 9 inches, I'm told.
But then you're probably going to slide off the end
Well, depending on your bed and
if you have a footboard or not.
sure. Everybody's going to be different. And we're all different anyway, so everyone has needs.
So I think that was really good that Mom brought that up because everybody's bed structure is a little bit different.
Mhm,
And I know
mhm.
Judah and our bed has a big, heavy headboard. We ended up, actually, you want to take off your mattress and box spring first and set it aside. Otherwise, you're working against yourself.
Mhm, mhm.
And Judah came in and brought one of our car jacks and put it under the side rail and just
Yeah.
and then it was very easy to put our blocks, and we actually did 3. Judah, are you back there?
No.
What did we do on our bed? 3.
4 2x6.
Oh, okay. We did 4 2x6 blocks.
Raised about 6.5 inches.
Yeah, and it raised ours just about 6.5 inches. And Judah just gorilla glued those blocks together, let it dry, and then
Yeah, they're nice solid
the
block.
headboard leg is about that big and it fits on there fine, and it's not going anywhere. And then Judah also propped in the center because we also
Mhm.
have the king.
The larger bed.
4x4 blocks.
It needs that. It needs that extra
That
protection.
extra support, right?
But if you have folks that might have older books, larger books, encyclopedia size, they could build that up to that correct
That
height.
makes sense. That's a good use for
So without spending a
book
penny,
that's
you could
unread.
still do this. And how it affects the body.
And Mom was able to get her blocks from this large hardware dealer, which we all know probably the name of, because they had scraps laying around, and they were even able to trim those to size for her.
And then that gave me the opportunity to talk to the salesperson about raising the head of the bed. It's unbelievable the success people are finding. The one man just a couple of days ago, he said, I'm so interested in that because I was in a car accident and my neck was broken.
Ooh,
And since then, he's had quite a bit of problems.
I can understand trouble sleeping.
And that's one of the things that this is so good because it helps the bone structure, the spines, all of the bones, honey. He couldn't wait. He said, I'm going to do that to my bed yet tonight.
Well, I don't want to interrupt.
You're not.
But I am interrupting. I just wanted to insert there while Mom is talking about the skeletal structure is I have some chronic back issues, and that's the first thing I noticed initially the first night that I slept on an inclined bed was I could feel ever so subtly my spinal column, my vertebrae, just slightly opening up. It's very subtle, but it was very noticeable, and I thought this can only help. This can only help take pressure off of nerve trunks and other things as we sleep. And that, personally, I'm wondering if that isn't part and parcel of how this helps some of the other issues.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, continue on. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, and let's take this back ways. This isn't anything brand new. I had heard many years ago the same idea, but not by this Mr. Fletcher. They said to get a better night's rest, just slide a 4x4 piece of lumber under the headboard legs of your bed.
Oh, you had heard about this
Yes,
before.
many years back.
Okay.
So, something so simple. Go to your local lumber yard, buy a 4x4, and slide it under there. So there's no all this lifting and moving around like we've had to do with our larger beds.
Yes.
So then when I first saw this, that how you could raise your bed, and after I had slept so well with that stack of pillows, I thought, I can't lose. So that's why I did it. You know, an interesting article about that was this isn't brand new because when they opened King Tut's tomb, all of the beds in that tomb from his family home, all of them were raised 6 inches at the head.
No kidding.
Oh, 4,000 years.
Oh, wow, how interesting.
Isn't that interesting to us?
So they had this information
They knew
a long time ago.
They knew it then.
That's incredible.
And to think of the folks we know, this is incredible for any head injuries that people have had, or even conditions like Parkinson's, MS.
Mm.
And you think, what?
Yes.
What? Uh, and down, you and I visited about this, about the varicose veins. Why don't you
Yes.
bring that into this?
Some of the claims that I've seen from different people that have had issues with varicose veins, and I do on one leg. So this is something I'm really watching. Right about 4 weeks of sleeping inclined. 4 to 6 weeks, people with significant varicose veins noticed that their veins were much flatter during the day. And to me, again, it's counterintuitive because you're thinking, well, my feet are lower than my head. Isn't it pulling the fluid down? But in assisting the fluids down, lymph and blood flow, getting the fluids to go down in an improved way helps them to return up in an enhanced way, according to what Andrew Fletcher is saying.
People have responded to him, yes.
Yeah. So this is just feedback people have gotten, an improvement in varicose veins. So I'm watching to see if that happens for me. Don't know, jury is still out, but we're just reporting to you some of the things that have been reported back as far as improvements in health.
Well, another very common subject is for a couple sleeping, one of them happens to snore, or is a loud snorer.
A lot of us have experienced that.
And in some of the reading I have done, they have done it because the man snores.
Yes.
And the woman is about ready to leave the bed and find her own place because it's gotten so loud, you know.
Sure.
But she has stayed with him, and over that 3 to 4 week period, she noticed her varicose veins were disappearing.
Oh, so she was sleeping inclined because they inclined the bed to help her husband with his snoring. Wow, that's incredible. So this was just kind of like a side effect of that unexpected blessing that happened along the way.
And you know, because of the circulation, you stay warmer. You know, and
Yeah,
as we
we've
age,
heard that.
As we age, we do cool down. So that was very interesting to me too.
Yes.
You know, because you do sleep warmer. That heart doesn't have to work so hard because he's at that little degree of incline.
Sure, your pressure, the pressure is off of your abdomen, so you don't have.
Oh, you know, when you made that gesture, it made me think. When you're sleeping inclined, you feel like you're sleeping on your regular bed flat. You don't feel like you're propped up at all.
Yes.
That was the first, when I tried it the first night, I thought, it doesn't feel any different.
We noticed a very subtle difference. We could tell we were sleeping slightly inclined. It's been the first night, but after that, you don't notice it hardly at all. But it wasn't uncomfortable. It was a sensation. Like I said, I felt my back was opened up a little bit. The pressure was off my hips and lower back, which was really a relief that first night. Now, tell me, a lot of people worry, are you going to slide off the end of your bed with the 6-inch incline at the head of your bed?
Well, I think that that makes a difference in the person, male or female, size. I don't think the smaller person would slide as much as maybe the larger person. And it would depend on your bedding. What do you use, you know, for your linens? As you pointed out, maybe, what do you call them, flannel sheets?
Yes, we use either flannel or right now I've got a really nice soft, it's fuzzy like a blanket. I can't think of the name of it. It's not just a standard microfiber. It's got a fuzziness, and it actually gives you more traction.
Yeah.
So I noticed that if I slept on a slicker sheet, I would slide down a little bit more, but it's not a big deal. It really isn't. You're not rolling down the hill. You might just wake up a little farther down than you started.
Well, I was sure sold after I tried that 35-degree angle that first night. It made a difference in some of the conditions that I have. And so I have just been overwhelmed with what it can do for me. And anyone we talk to, no matter what they're going through, try it. Give it a good try. You can undo it.
That's absolutely right. It's something very simple to do. If you have any issues where your physician has spoken to you about, you know, absolutely keeping your head flat, then it's wise to just give your physician a buzz and say, hey, this may not make any sense to you, but would it be, you know, counterproductive for me or contraindicated
Mhm.
to sleep with my head or the entire bed at a 6-inch slant. So for those of you who have been instructed not to sleep with your head up, then by all means contact your physician before you would do anything like this. Again, disclaimer, we're not offering medical advice. We're sharing some really good news that may be helpful for some. We're sharing our own experiences. And I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks to see other changes and things that I'm personally monitoring.
Sure.
And I know Mom has some things that she's personally monitoring. And it's kind of exciting to do something so beautifully
it sure
simple,
is.
isn't
And
it?
so it's become a fun thing. And when you share it with others, what you're experiencing, they want to do that too.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me what to do.
Yes.
What can I use to raise the head of my bed?
And for me, we have a very thick mattress and a thick box spring. So with my height, I need to go ahead and I have a little stool by my bed now to assist me getting in. I can get out very easy, but I need a little bit of a stool to help me get in. And if you are, doing this with children or family members that, might have issues with that, you'll need to work out something. You might need to put, for kids, you might need to add bed rails or something. But again, this is not medical advice. This is not telling anybody to do this. We're sharing something that we found out that's working for us.
Others.
This is something you do at your own risk. Follow your physician's advice. I will put in the description below this gentleman, Andrew K. Fletcher's website, and you can research from there just on your own. Quite a few
That's
articles.
always fun, and then the testimonials that come in.
The testimonials,
in answer to that.
Yes.
He doesn't sell a product.
No, he doesn't.
He's just sharing what he learned.
What he learned, and then I understand he also then took this to some vascular surgeons and worked with them for a period of time to, find out why is this improving health and causing certain outcomes in people that he had personally worked with. So it's an exciting thing to check out.
And one more thing along that line, everyone sleeps at night. Babies, children, parents, folks in my age bracket.
Unless you have a night shift job.
And it goes for everyone. Everyone could do this. And it does not harm them at all.
So, like we said, unless you have an issue where the physician wants you sleeping flat, and then that's up to you to get with your doc and find out what they think.
Well, I sure have been enthused. I was enthused from the day I first found the information.
Yes, you were. She was.
Because I'd had that problem with those pillows slipping all over, and I thought this got to be a better way.
Yes.
So. And when we are, say, in hospitals or something where the beds are raised, they do that for a reason.
Yes, they do.
They want you to breathe better.
That's right.
They want that heart working.
That's right. But if you just elevate the head of your bed, then think about it mechanically. You're increasing pressure. You're putting a bend in your body. You're increasing pressure to your hips and lower back and spine and things like that if that's an issue for you.
Sure.
So, well, guys, I guess we'll bring this to an end. Mom, it's been awesome. It's been awesome having you.
Well, thank you
on Zamar, or Coffee and Kvetch with Zamar. And I forgot the name of my own YouTube program.
Okay.
So, to life, l'chaim. And
to good sleeping.
To good sleep.
Good
Amen.
rest.
Amen,
good rest.
sister. Amen, sister.
Try it.
So we love you guys. Shalom. Have a great rest of the week. And we'll see you next time on Coffee and Kvetch with Zamar and Mom or friends. And if you like our station, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. If you prefer not to do that, we just want to really genuinely thank you for stopping by. And everybody's time is precious. Thanks for taking time to listen to these two ladies today. Mama, I love you so much.
I love you. I love you, dear.
We need to have her back, right?
Thank you.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.